Shalom, shalom, peace and blessings. Now let's get straight into it. Today we're going into Isaiah chapter 60, verse 19. I believe I've done a lesson on Isaiah chapter 60 before, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into verse 19 here, where it says the following: The sun shall be no more thy light by the day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy power thy glory. So when it says the sun shall be no more thy light by day, is this saying that the sun will disappear? Neither for your brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. Is this saying that the moon and the sun will no longer be, that they're going to disappear? Well, let's see. Verse 20, thy sun shall no more go down, neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Most High, or as it reads here, for the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. So verse 19 says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, and the brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. And then verse 20, though, is saying the sun shall no more go down. So which one is it? The sun not go down is talking about the actual sun. Well, let's see. Hint, hint, it's not. So let's get Revelation chapter 21, verse 23. It reads, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. For the glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. So this is referring to in the kingdom. All right. I should mention that. This is referring to in the kingdom. So again, is the sun going to go away? Because it says in the city, referring to the kingdom of heaven that will be on earth after Christ comes back to establish the kingdom. It says that city has no need of the sun, neither the moon to shine in it. The glory of the Most High did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. So what does that mean? So one thing to understand is that light that's referring to, or the sun and the moon, essentially is referring to, in one instance in verse 19, this is really referring to the wisdom and the knowledge of this world. OK, the knowledge of this world. And just think about it. The word enlighten. If someone is enlightening you, they're giving you light, they're giving you knowledge on a subject, or illuminate. Some brothers will say, illuminate me. You know, you're giving light on the topic, on the subject. You're giving someone knowledge, understanding. It's the same way here in the scriptures. It's parabolic. The sun is parabolic for knowledge. OK, and a lot of times you see wisdom used for the moon, or the moon used for wisdom. All right. So that's what it's referring to. But let's dive even deeper than that. Let's read verse 19 one more time in Isaiah chapter 60. It says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day. The knowledge of this world is going to fade. OK, once this kingdom is established, once Christ comes back, all the nonsense that we know to be true in today's world, there's going to be no more slut shaming. There's going to be no more LGBTQ. There's going to be no more Democrats and Republicans, the democracy, the United Nations. All right. All of this folly that we live with today, it's going to be no more light. I mean, that's not going to be shining on us. No more knowledge of these things. OK, it's not going to matter anymore. Neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, the wisdom of this world, which is foolishness. According to the scriptures, we're going to grab that later. But the Most High shall be unto thee an everlasting light, and thy power, thy power, thy glory, and thy power, thy glory. All right. So a scripture here that will illustrate this is Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. So the Most High's light, meaning the righteous light on the right hand path, is the laws, the statutes, the commandments. Okay, that's the light on the right hand side. But when you have a right hand side, you also have a left hand side. You understand? So let's get Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. A false balance, meaning a right hand side without a left hand side, or a left hand side without a right hand side. The Most High views that as an abomination. So as long as there is wickedness, it's going to be righteousness. As long as there's righteousness, there's going to be wickedness. Okay, a just weight is his delight. So if you have a right hand side knowledge, if you have a right hand side wisdom, a right hand side light, there's also going to be light on the left hand side. There's going to be knowledge on the left hand path, and there's going to be wisdom on the left hand path. You get it? So that's what this verse is going into. It's saying the sun shall be no more thy light by day, referring to the wisdom and knowledge of this world. Neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. But when it's talking about the righteous knowledge, it's the rest of the verse. But the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light. So literally, the Lord is going to be bright, but also from the standpoint of this world being ruled by righteousness, by the statute, laws, and commandments. That will be the end thing. Okay. And in the kingdom, sometimes we think about this like, it's like, I don't know, the way they present it in church, like it's just some type of fantasy world. Just imagine like the world is today. You will have the elect with the glorious bodies, and the kingdom itself will be glorious. But it'll probably look just like it does today from a standpoint of just how things look today. It was just going to be, upside down. Instead of the wicked being in rulership, it's going to be the righteous in rulership. Okay, so not like this fantastical world from a standpoint of like how they present it on movies and things like that. It's going to be better than anything that's ever presented, but it's gonna be life. You understand? So it's not like this is a parabolic way of describing something that's actually going to occur. It's going to be a state of life. Okay, again, the everlasting light, meaning the kingdom that never ends, according to Daniel, the 7th chapter. Okay, the everlasting kingdom, the everlasting light, the statute, laws, and commandments, the Most High will always reign supreme and will never be dethroned. Okay, and really, obviously, the Most High can't be dethroned. I'm more referring to the people. Okay, the Israelites that will reign, that will never ever be in a position of captivity again. Okay, that's the everlasting light, and that's what's going to rule planet Earth. All right, the law. Instead of the Constitution, it's going to be the commandments. You see what I'm saying? All right, that's going to be the laws of the land. All right, and the laws to abide by. All right. And thy God, thy glory. Okay. And when it says the sun shall no more go down, that's more of what I was just going into there. Neither shall thy moon withdraw itself. For the Lord shall be thine everlasting light, and the days of thy mourning shall be ended. Okay. Verse 21. Thy people also shall be all righteous. That's the everlasting light. They shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. You see? So that's what it's going into. Now, let's keep going, though, because it gets a lot deeper. Okay. More describing this righteous light. Let's get 1 Peter, the 2nd chapter, verse 9. But ye are a chosen generation, referring to the children of Israel, a royal priesthood, and holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. The marvelous light is the knowledge of the truth, is the scriptures. Okay. The only way to live, the righteous way to live, the right hand path. All right. This word. All right. This is the marvelous light being called into darkness, because on the right hand path, you're in darkness when you're in sin. You're without light. Understand? This is the marvelous light. Okay. But let's get more examples. So for 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 6. For the Most High, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of the Most High in the face of Yahushua HaMashiach. Again, that's the light that commanded us out of darkness. And it's a spiritual thing. So just imagine, if you're in the knowledge now, just picture back before you understood that you were supposed to keep the statute, laws, and commandments, and that you were an Israelite, and we weren't just black, we weren't just niggas and Negroes, Afro-Americans, African-Americans, that we actually had a heritage. Okay, that's that light commanding you out of darkness, getting out of the matrix, per se. That's what that means. But most of what I have pulled up here is explaining the first part of verse 19, because I really want brothers and sisters to understand what they be looking at. Okay, so I'm going to read this one more time here in the beginning. It says, the sun shall be no more thy light by day, neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. So I've said here that this is referring to the knowledge and wisdom of the world. However, what does that really mean? Let's get some examples. Okay, first, I wanted to clarify what I mean by there's a left-hand side light. Okay, let's get Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? So the word Lucifer, if you weren't aware, this is Strong's H1966, Hallel. All right, in the modern, it says Lucifer, light bearer. But what light? The light on the left-hand side, the light bearer. Okay, the light of the knowledge of the world, like some of the things that I mentioned earlier. Okay. Whatever, I don't know, whatever this world be talking about nowadays, that's the knowledge of the left-hand path. Okay, God loves everyone, no matter what. Christianity, that's the light of the left-hand path. Islam, that's the light of the left-hand path. Therefore, if you believe in that light, you're a Luciferian. You believe in Luciferian doctrines. That's the light of the light bearer of Lucifer. It is what it is. The shining one, the morning star, Lucifer. So you see that it says the morning star here because Lucifer, because Lucifer and Satan is not the exact same thing. When you say the word Lucifer, really you just referring to more of the left-hand side doctrines, because Satan, which just means adversary, is referring to the spiritual demon that the Most High is in command, that is the opposition to the elect, or really to everyone else that's not the elect. Okay, to throw everyone off, to put out the left-hand side spirits like depression, murder, anxiety. These are all left-hand side spirits that are on people. All right. Sadness, so on and so forth. All right. He's in control of that, and he can go into any type of form. Satan can, but the Lucifer, or when you see Lucifer, it's more referring to the pagan deities, the doctrines, but Satan is an actual spiritual entity. Okay. The pagan gods are more just doctrines, more just ideologies, because no pagan god has ever lived, but Satan is alive. All right. And we know that according to the scriptures, he's like a roaring lion. All right. Looking to devour, but there is no Lucifer. All right. All of the pagan deities are essentially, since they never, took a breath of life, they're essentially just ideologies. Okay. They've been formed. Man has made many different pagan deities, but they've never taken a breath of life, neither the male or the female deities. And a lot of them, have male and female parts. But anyways, that's what it means here by Lucifer, light bearer, and the light of the left hand side. And that's why it says the sun shall no more be the light by day, meaning this world will not be ruled by that left hand side energy, by the Luciferian doctrines, okay, by Satan, because the God of this world is Satan right now. Okay. And if you know a classic, Job 9:24, you know that. Okay, let's get Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, aka the light bearer. On the left hand side, that's the light, that's the sun that's given a light on this current earth right now. Why? Because that's the doctrine. That's the end thing. It is a rare thing to be in the scriptures. Okay. I'm not talking about Christianity either, where anything goes. Let me read the rest of this first. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the faces of the judges, aka the Israelites, have been covered. The righteousness have been covered. It's mostly darkness. The Israelites is only a small beam of light right now currently, because, again, we're taught left and right to do evil. Or we're taught left and right that light of the left hand path. You understand? Left and right from inception, from a child. Everything is just off the moment you enter the world. Like all of the children's shows now, they try to sneak in some type of, phallic symbols, some type of homosexuality, very young children. Okay. The food is off, all these different vaccines, whether they help children or not is things remaining to be seen. Okay. The school system is Luciferian. All right. The whole school system was made by Luciferians so that you live out a Luciferian life. The TV, all the entertainment is made by Luciferians with Luciferian doctrines. Okay. Even the movies that are meant, or at least not meant to the world to appear to be righteous, like a Passion of the Christ or whatever the case, even like a Book of Eli, which is about a righteous man, a man of the Lord with the scriptures. Even movies like that, they throw in Luciferian doctrines because that's the light of this world right now. Okay, we live in a Luciferian society, no matter where you live at, not just here in America. This is Babylon. Okay, the scriptures talk about it. So it's not just my opinion. That's what the scriptures talk about. Why would Christ have to come back if the kingdom was already established? If the Most High was already here and that was the prevalent energy of planet Earth, then why would Christ need to come back and correct this place and destroy it? Thus saith the word. Why? Because this whole place is wicked. Okay, and if you follow what everybody else do, then you're a Luciferian. That's all it is. Your mama probably Luciferian. Your daddy probably Luciferian. Your woman probably Luciferian. I'm just messing with you, even though it might be true. I don't know, but no, the whole point is that we follow the word, so we're not Luciferian. So we're not following the left hand path. That we're not a part of that light that's shining down on this earth right now. You understand? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This earth and its inhabitants, the people, they have been given into the hand of the wicked. Meaning what? What does that mean? It means that there's no righteousness here in this place. Okay, so all of these things that have been taught to us, they're all lies. That's what it means by being in the matrix. You have to relearn everything. You have to question everything in this life because it's all a lie. A lot of the common logos that we wear, they're Luciferian, like Nike. And I'm not even telling you not to wear it because I wear stuff that I wear Nike and stuff like that because none of this stuff means anything to me. I just know what it is. Nike is based off of pagan deity, which we're going to talk more about them. Nike is how it would be pronounced in the Greek. Okay. Goddess of victory. Okay. And that swoosh is based on her wings. Or that's what Nike comes from. But that's just that's not even the tip of the iceberg. I mean, anything you can think of, like the different colors, chevron being red and blue. Those are Luciferian doctrines that basically just equates to as above, so below. Meaning they view male and female, evil and good as the same. It's just all part of the same. There is no good. There is no evil. It's just is what it is, which is confusion. And the Most High is not an author of confusion. You understand? Pursuant to 1 Corinthians chapter 14. All right. So anyways, I just want y'all to understand that we're going to, get more examples of that. All right. What we got next? Let's get Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 3. It says, and hath gone and served. Let's get verse 2 for a little bit more context. Deuteronomy chapter 17 and verse 2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy power giveth thee, man or woman, that hath wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy power in transgression his covenant, verse 3, and hath gone and served other gods and worship them, either the sun or moon, or any of the hosts of heaven, which I have not commanded. Verse 4, and it be told thee, and thou hast heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and a thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Verse 5, then shalt thou bring forth that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gates, even that man or that woman, and shalt stone them with stones till they die. Now I wanted to get that full thought just so we didn't cut it too short, but the point was in verse 3. It says, and have gone and served other gods and worshiped them, either the sun or moon. So why does it say that? So are people literally worshiping the sun and the moon? Yes. Yes and no. So absolutely yes. Like there's literally people that will go outside to the sun or to the moon and will worship it. But also on the spiritual level. Again, that's why we have the word in the day known as Sunday. And Monday is literally just moon day. All right. Or lunes. All right. For the moon. All right. That's what Monday means. It's the worship of the moon. It was fashioned after the worship of the moon, and Sunday was fashioned after the worship of the sun. And when it comes to the worship of the sun, that goes into many different forms. Like I brought out before in another lesson, how when LeBron James, he was talking about Denver's coach here. All right. What did he say? He says, in Europe for the past few weeks, minding my business, and I hear I'm on your mind that much, huh? I mean, I guess I see why. But wave the flag on these lames. So this is not the picture he had um, you know, from this post. It's just the caption. So keep that in mind. But anyways, please make being player cool again, because the lame machine is at an all-time high. Well, this caption is pretty lame. But anyways, enjoy your light. Enjoy your light. But just know I'm the sun. I stay on forever. So what is he saying here? He's saying that he is Lucifer. He is the light bearer on the left-hand side. He is the sun. Okay, he's shining his light on everyone else. He is to be worshiped. Okay, so this is what it's going into. So it's not just the sun itself, but also the different people that have fashioned themselves to be someone to be worshiped in that light. Okay, that's why he said that. Believe it or not, that's why he said he's the sun. A lot of times these people, they don't say things directly because they know that people can't handle that. They know that if you don't come out and say you're a Christian or mainly Christian, but people nowadays they'll pass for Islam and stuff like that. But they know dang well you can't tell somebody you're a Luciferian. You can't say that I'm an adherent to, Luciferian energies and principles. You can't say that, well, I believe in as above, so below. I believe there's no genders. I believe that sex magic is fine. I believe in the Babylonian ways. I believe if you said something like that, people would go crazy at this current time. Less and less, but still at this current time, if LeBron James came out and said that, he would be condemned. Oh, wow, I can't believe that you're teaching our kids to do this. And, if he came out and said, I believe in drinking blood, just imagine what kind of wave that would shake. But more than likely, in my opinion, he believes in all of those things and a lot worse, a lot worse, especially this, little pizza party that he threw that time that he didn't show up to anyways. If y'all know about the pizza party, if you know. But he believes in those things, and he's an adherent to what LeBron James is. He's a Luciferian. Okay. He's that light on the left-hand path that will no longer shine once Yahushua returns. Okay, let's get Job chapter 31 and verse 26. If I beheld the sun when it shined, or the moon walking in brightness, verse 27, and my heart hath been secretly enticed, or my mouth hath kissed my hand, verse 28, this also were an iniquity to be punished by the judge. For I should have denied the power that is above, or the God, the Most High. So if you adhere to anything that's not in the scriptures, any principles, any principalities, any ideologies that is not found in this word, then you're enticed by the sun. You're enticed by the moon. Your heart has been secretly enticed by that light on the left-hand path. See what I mean? And that's what LeBron James and many others of the quote-unquote celebrities, that's what they have embraced. They're taught that's the true doctrine. They're taught that everyone else just don't know what's going on, and they do. That's how they get them. One of the things that they tell them is clear to me. They don't know what's going on. This is, especially when money is involved, and fame. No, this is the true doctrine. But don't take my word for it. It happened to Yahushua. At least when I say that, Satan tried to literally get him to become a Luciferian, to accept those Luciferian doctrines, right? So this is Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Okay, so this is in here for a reason, to show you that many people go to this same walk that Yahushua had to deal with. Okay, but they don't resist Satan. All right, they actually fall for it. So a lot of these people, like we having these rappers fall like flies nowadays, more than likely they already knew, either from the beginning, they got told not too long ago before they demise, but more than likely they were already told they weren't going to make it. And that's part of the deal that they had to take for fame. Okay. And it's not just money too, it's for fame, because you could have money and a lot of it would consider a lot of money without fame, but it's really the fame too on top of that. And that's what a lot of people are thirsty for. They're thirsty for fame, not just money, it's fame. They'd rather be broke, and as long as they look rich, they'd rather be broke and famous than be rich and not famous. A lot of these people, they always say fame is a drug, man. Verse 2, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward and hungered. Yahushua was. Verse 3, and when the tempter came to him, Satan, he said, if thou be the Son of the Most High, command that these stones be made bread. See, just trying to tempt him. Verse 4, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of the Most High. Verse 5, then the devil taketh him up into the holy city and setteth him on the pinnacle of the temple. Verse 6, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of the Most High, cast thyself down, for it is written. Look, say no, verses 2, and he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. See, Satan knows the scriptures too, but you see, he's twisting them. So you have to be careful not to add to the word, because you twisting the scriptures. Okay, which is, as you see, satanic. That's what Satan did. That's what the devil did. We don't want to do nothing the devil did, right? Verse 7, and that includes me too. Verse 7, Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. Verse 8, again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them. Verse 9, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. You know how many people have taken this deal? You think Yahushua is the only one that was given this deal? Absolutely not. All these people that we see, they've taken these deals. All these rappers, entertainers, and a lot of these athletes, especially the ones at the top, they've taken this deal. All right. In one form or another, whether it be Satan directly coming to them, whether it be, someone fashioned himself as Satan, a Luciferian, someone behind the curtains, and say, you know what? I will make you one of the most famous athletes in the world. This is all you got to do. You got to say this. You got to do this. That's that deal. Okay. You've been compromised, if you were to accept something like that. So it don't even have to be directly, but that's how it was starting. And next thing you know, you're doing all type of stuff. But that's how these people get approached. Again, Yahushua not the only one that got this deal, or at least, had this deal offered to him. All right. Obviously, he rejected it, because if not, we'd have been toast if he took this, but he didn't. Because keep in mind, like when it comes to this, you have to understand Yahushua had an actual choice. He literally resisted this just because Yahushua, he was in the flesh. He could have taken this. But the Most High already knew that he wouldn't, clearly, and it didn't happen. But it could have, in a sense, because not literally could have, but if the Most High, if it was his will, it would have happened that way. Verse 9, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee if thou wilt fall down and worship me. All right. Verse 10. That's pretty much, even if you're not offered this directly, that's pretty much, that's pretty much the deal of the world, especially for fame. Because look, he was given kingdoms, all right, the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, not just money, the glory of the kingdoms. Verse 10, then said Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shalt thou serve. Verse 11, then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. So he had to be tempted and he had to resist. Okay. He told him to kick rocks. All right. Say he dipped. It was like, yeah, he ain't the one. He is definitely not the one. Yeah, you already knew. He probably told the Most High, now you already knew he wasn't finna do this. All right. It was a wrap. Yeah, I wish I wasn't playing with that. But these people of this world, they let that sun, that light from the sun shine on them. Okay. So let's talk more about what the sun means. When it says the sun, the world, I want to say this is page 187. I want to get to. Yeah, page 187. This is the two Babylons. Let's take a look here. It says in this paragraph here on page 187, it says, here then in Rome was Titan or Satan. So keep in mind the word Titan actually means Satan. Titan means Satan. All right, it's just another way of saying Satan. That's why it says in Rome was Titan or Satan. So Titan, Titan, literally means Satan. All right, just like, you got the movie Remember the Titans, saying remember Satan. So like different things like that you would just never really consider or think about is the type of left-hand side energy that's pushed on you, like in this world. And you wonder why people can't come out of it. They being flooded with this in all directions. Okay, and it's witchcraft. All right. A lot of times we just don't be knowing what we're looking at. That's why you have to, your spirit got to be on high. Anyways, identify with the serpent that taught mankind. Serpent. All right, back that old serpent. All right, back in Genesis, the 2nd chapter and the 3rd chapter. Okay, that old serpent that opened their eyes when, of course, they were blind and gave them the knowledge of good and evil. Okay. In Pergamos and in all Asia Minor, from which directly Rome derived its knowledge of the mysteries, the case was the same. In Pergamos, especially, where preeminently Satan's seat was, the sun divinity. Satan's seat was the sun divinity. Yahushua is also likened it to the sun, the morning star. I mentioned that earlier. Yahushua was known as the morning star, but also was Satan, because there's always a right hand and a left hand path and understanding of many different symbols. Many different animals can be represented on the right hand path, and they can be represented on the left hand path. Like when Yahushua told us to be wise as serpents, he wasn't talking about the left-hand path, the left-hand side understanding. He wasn't talking about the serpent that beguiled Eve in Adam as well. He was talking about wisdom of the right-hand path, of the right-hand side, the right-hand side light, per se. But as we see here, this is referring to the left-hand path. That's why Satan's seat was known as the sun divinity. So you will see the sun god. I did a lesson called the sun god agenda. The sun god worship agenda is referring to the sun, the different sun deities that this world has created. That light on the left hand path, the knowledge, okay, to do evil, to go away from the word, all the different things of this world. Okay. I'm saying that's the left hand side light. Okay. Everything is all good. You don't have to read the Bible. God's just all within your heart now. God knows your heart, and everybody does it. And Jesus has already died for our sins, and grace is, that's covered by grace. That's That's off, man. That's that light on the left-hand path. Even when it's something that close, but the stuff on the other extreme, like I said earlier, the LGBTQ, all those different things, you know, it's a little bit more obvious, but you have to be careful about that light that appears to be right hand side light. That you have to be even more careful about that. Okay, because some light, it looks the exact same. And when it says here the mysteries, derived as knowledge of the mysteries, that's the mystery of iniquity, or the mysteries of Babylon. The Babylonian mysteries is where Satan has blended in the left-hand side understanding with the right-hand side understanding. At least he's tried to mimic it or copy it so well that it's hard to tell for most people, because most people that are Luciferians don't know it. They're not aware of it. Most of the people that go in church, they think they're doing the right thing. All right. That's the mystery. That's what you hear right now is the knowledge of the mystery. You understand? That's the mystery. That is the game. That's the play for Satan, is to deceive. All right. The deceiver, the accuser. Why? Because he can make things appear to be that or not. He can make things that are righteous appear to be wicked, and things that are wicked obviously appear to be righteous. Okay. So the sun divinity, as it is well known, was worshipped under the form of a serpent and under the name as Asclepius. All right. Actually, Asclepius. All right. The man instructing serpent. So when I read this, I thought about Kobe's video and he had on ESPN here. Don't want to get copyrighted. It says inside Kobe's Muse Cage Part 1, and ESPN it's a Part 2 as well. Yo, this man Kobe was so wicked, man, because he was teaching this nonsense talking about a Muse Cage. And let's read the description here. It says Part 1 of Kobe Bryant's Muse Cage. Kobe and quote unquote the little Mamba explored the difference between light musings and dark musings. What is that? So light magic and dark magic, as you see here on the screen, which this is a spell book right here above him, and he dressed in all black. That the serpent teacher, or the man teaching serpent here, the man instructing serpent, this represents that man instructing serpent here that Kobe had on this inside Kobe Bryant's Muse Cage, a video that he published here. You know it's bad because they cut off the comments. Normally you see on ESPN videos, the comments do not be cut off. They cut off here because a lot of people understand that this is off. I don't want it to get copyrighted. If you've never seen it, just watch this, but it's off. These dark musings, like what is this? And this is for kids. He's telling you to embrace the left-hand side. Kobe was also that son, or an adherent to that light. All right. And when you're part of that sun or that light, you want to teach it to others. And that's exactly what part of his life work was. You know, that's what Kobe did before he died, before he left. He wanted to teach that light, and he wanted to shine it on children. So they start out embracing the left-hand side path, because none of this has anything to do with the scriptures. Where in the scriptures does it tell you to embrace light musings and dark musings? See, the championship, the NBA championship, the trophy represents the sun too as well. All right. But watch this if you haven't, and you just, even if you don't know exactly what they're talking about, you're going to know that it's off. Okay, this dude, look, that's the sun or the serpent. You always see the serpent attached to the sun. But Kobe Bryant, man, that dude, wicked as all get out. And he didn't even care, bro. Like Kobe was unabashed. He ain't care nothing about it. But anyways, because a lot of people try to hide it, and he just didn't. Anyways, according to the fundamental doctrine of the mysteries, as brought from Pergamos to Rome, the Son was the one and only God. Okay, again, I'm reading this so you can see that the Son is likened to the serpent on the left-hand path and to Satan, that light. So, and it's not just so you understand Isaiah 60 and 19. So when you see the Son being used in certain movies, or you see scenes where it's always a sun in the background behind a character, this is what they trying to signal to you a lot of times. Okay. Titan, or Satan, then was thus recognized as the one only God. And of that only God, Tammuz, as found in the scriptures of Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 14, or Janus in his character as the son, or the woman's seed, was just an incarnation. Okay. Here, then, the grand secret of the Roman Empire is at last brought to the light. Pun intended. The real name of the tutelar divinity of Rome. Okay. Rome worshipped Saturn as well. So it's not just about the sun, but again, and that's why I said there in Deuteronomy, the 17th chapter, where it says either the sun or moon or any of the host of heaven, because this world worships Saturn too as well. Saturn is pretty much where you get 666 from, all right, or the hidden God. That's where that comes from. All right. And that's what this world worships in many different forms. All right. That secret was most jealously guarded, in so much that when Valerius Soranus, a man of the highest rank, and as Cicero declares, the most learned of the Romans, had unconsciously divulged it, he was remorsefully put to death for his revelation. Wow. Now, however, it stands plainly revealed. So that's the secret. That's the secret of the world. All right. Of the quote unquote elite. That's the secret, that this is really the knowledge of the world. And most people don't get it. Okay. And again, just so we know what we're looking at, because it is important to know what you're looking at. Now, I've talked a lot about the sun. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the moon and give some examples there, show some more scriptures referring to the sun not giving its light when Yahushua returns, and then we'll close out from there. So Proverbs chapter 4, let's start at verse 7, the classic. Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. Beautiful verse. And then verse 8. Exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. Now, what is it saying here? So it says exalt her. Who is her? Her is wisdom. Wisdom has a feminine aspect or component. Wisdom is always, well, almost always referred to in the feminine. Even in the Hebrew and the Greek, it's normally a feminine noun that's used for the word wisdom. Because it has many attributes. Wisdom has many attributes as a woman, a comforting woman. Okay, that's the type of spirit wisdom is, and how cherished it is, and how valuable it is, and how rare it is. Just like a rare and valuable woman, that's how wisdom is. And you want to keep her forever and embrace her and love her. All right. And her love does not end. All right. That's why you see the parabolic use, or the comparison between the woman and wisdom. All right. It's given a feminine component. Okay. It says, exalt her, and she shall promote thee. She shall bring thee to honor when thou dost embrace her. Her being wisdom. So it's parabolic for saying her there. All right. But in many ways, the moon is likened into a woman too as well. It's likened into that light, or it's likened into wisdom. Mainly on the left-hand path. Could be on the right-hand path too. There's always a right-hand and left-hand path understanding. Okay. But in Isaiah chapter 69 and verse 19, and was highlighted on the screen. Neither for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee. It's talking about that wisdom on the left-hand path. Okay. And what I have here, it says list of lunar deities, because just as we saw earlier, the moon is worshipped in the society. Okay. It says here a lunar deity is a deity who represents the moon or an aspect of it. Lunar deities and moon worship can be found throughout most of recorded history in various forms. And that's correct. So there's moon worship in the scriptures. There's moon worship found throughout all of, like it says, all recorded history, most of recorded history, but all nations, including Israel, when we going off, has worshiped the moon in the different aspects of it. So they will take an aspect, certain aspects of a person, certain characteristics, ascribe it to a lunar deity, which is normally a woman, but also men too. There's men moon gods like Kansu, but mainly given to the woman, and they will worship it. And we're going to see different examples of that. Okay, some different African lunar deities. Like I said, Kansu here, which is one of the Egyptian moon gods. The Aztecs, Incas, Mayas, some other nations, Sapani, the Tupi, East Asians, Anatolians, Chinese mythologies, the Elamites, Hinduism, so on and so forth, Japanese. But one that you guys may be familiar with is the European. It says here Artemis. That's in the scriptures. That's the Greek. You know, Artemis is a lunar deity subscribed to the moon. You see how it all connects? So you have just the knowledge of, or the wisdom of the left-hand path being ascribed to an actual person that never lived before, and therefore, boom, you have the secret. This is how they communicate without communicating. So if someone that a lot of people don't even know what they're doing, like if you literally worship Artemis, or say like a Diana, you know, these different pagan deities, Hecate, Luna, you know, if you worship Selene, if you worship these different pagan goddesses, you know, you may not even understand that this is not referring to an actual woman. Really, it's more referring to the ideologies that's been ascribed to this character. All right. But again, when they throw this in movies and when they have us study these things without you realizing it, that's what they're really trying to get you to embrace. Because you start accepting these things, you know, all these different pagan gods, like a Zeus, like who's never heard of Zeus before? All these different pagan gods and goddesses that we've been taught, we just think it's okay. So that way, if somebody come to you, man, that's wicked. Man, you're not supposed to be, you know, you're not supposed to be in a Greek fraternity or sorority, bro. That's wicked. That's a pagan god. You like, no, it ain't. Everybody, no, it ain't. I'm not worshiping them. I'm just saying I'm Greek. I'm just saying I'm a part of this fraternity. I'm a part of this sorority. So it sounds crazy. If you have enough people doing something, it sounds crazy when the opposite is told to you. That's the whole point of it. To keep you stuck into Luciferian ideologies. So this makes it a more human aspect. So it makes it easier to be accepted among the people when you ascribe a person to it. Understand? I'm trying to explain this in a certain way to hopefully brothers kind of see what's going on around them and what makes this place even a lot more wicked than what you think. Because everything I'm saying right now was a part of crafty counsel. Not anything that they just stumbled upon. They planned it to be this way. You get it? They planned it to be this way. So I mentioned Hecate earlier, and let me make it clear that they understand these things. I mentioned Hecate earlier. Now, when you look at Hecate's, these little spikes coming from her head here, and by the way, she's a goddess of magic. spells, the moon, night, crossroads, and ghosts. There's normally something like that, witchcrafts, drugs, ghosts. That's normally with these pagan deities are associated with. It's always something negative, or even if it's something that appears to be positive, like wisdom, it's wisdom on the left-hand path. But anyways, as you see here at the top, these little spikes that's coming from what may be a crown or something to the extent that Hecate is wearing. What does that look like? The Statue of Liberty. So the Statue of Liberty has some aspects of Hecate, but mainly some aspects of it's mainly aspects of Libertas, the goddess Libertas. Okay. So it's mainly where the Statue of Liberty comes from. And again, you have this huge idol just sitting up there over there in New York, right, in Liberty Island. It's huge. It's one of the things that America is known by, but it's based off of a pagan deity, a moon goddess. What they're saying is that this light, you see, it says liberty. And keep in mind, liberty is something that also sounds positive, but it's talking about liberty of the left-hand path, liberty from the Most High, the Babylonian liberty to do whatever you want. That's the doctrine of the world. That's that light of the left-hand path, is to do whatever you want. Do as thou wilt. That's that light. That's that knowledge. You understand? It says liberty enlightening the world. That's what the Statue of Liberty represents. Speaking of that light, you see that light right there? That's what that means. That's that light of the left-hand path. As above, so below. And that's a spell book in her hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Statue of Liberty, represents. That's what liberty they're talking about in the first place. Liberty from the Most High. They know all these things. We just don't understand it. So we have this as a symbol of America. A lot of people consider this to be a symbol of America. So you accept it. You don't think nothing of it because everybody is cool with it. Nobody is taking this thing down. Why is that? Because most people don't know. They don't know what this actually means. It's hidden in plain sight. But when you know what you're looking at, you know what it is. This is the light Isaiah chapter 16 and verse 19 is referring to. This light that they have here that represents enlightening the world with Luciferian doctrines. Okay. That you're your own God. That's one of the lights. What some of the knowledge of the left-hand path. You're your own God. You don't have to listen to the Most High. You can do whatever you want. Do as thou wilt. You can worship whoever you want. You can be your own God. You get it? Again, and you accept this. You think it's no big deal. It's just Statue of Liberty. I don't really know where this woman came from or who this is or why she's holding the light up there, but you just don't think of it. And you accept it. So that way, somebody like me, you listen to this video. Oh, this dude is crazy. What is he talking about? This Statue of Liberty. Yeah, okay, I see. It literally says it's Libertas, this pagan god, but who cares? I don't worship them. That's just something that Greeks did. You just think it's something in the middle. It's not good or bad. It's not. It's wicked. All of this is wicked. It's against the Most High's word. It's against the 10 Commandments. It's against everything that the Bible is about, that the Most High tried to establish to his people. It's against it. So it's wicked. All right. So that's that moon. This light. See, these idols are going to be destroyed. It's probably going to be one of the first things, that and that wicked statue over there in Brazil, going to be one of the first things that gets destroyed. You get it? So this is that light that's no longer going to shine in this world in Isaiah chapter 16 and verse 19. We're getting deeper because we could have just said this is just the world, but it gets a little bit deeper than that. You understand? So speaking of these idols being destroyed, let's get Micah chapter 5 and verse 13. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images, like the Statue of Liberty, out of the midst of thee. and thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. Verse 14, and I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. Verse 15, and I will execute vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. And when Yahushua comes back, it's time for vengeance in anger and fury upon the heathen for building these things and deceiving his people all of this time. All right, these graven images like the Statue of Liberty, okay, everything else. And not just these huge statues, just statues in general are off, you know, of just these athletes or whatever else. It's off. These things have to be destroyed and will not be in the kingdom. Another idol that you just won't pay any attention to. You ever seen a movie where you had Columbia Pictures, which she's pretty much doing the same thing? That's that light that's burning. It's talking about the light of the left-hand path. Get it, Columbia Pictures. I know y'all seen this before. And Columbia, by the way, just means the dove. In Latin, Columbi or Columb means the dove. The dove is also one of the many aspects of the left-hand path of the wisdom of the different goddesses that are worshipped in this society. Okay, like you had the movie, I believe it's Colombiana with Zoe Saldana. If you look at the promotional film or the promotional pictures for her, normally she has only her left eye revealed. That's why, saying that she is a goddess. Okay, that's normally what Columbia means. All right, it represents the dove, but a dove has been ascribed to, you know, many different animals on the left hand side, or the different fowls have been ascribed to many of the different goddesses, like the owl or Minerva. A lot of people know about that, like the what's the grove over there? I believe in California. The Bohemian Grove that has a huge owl, that's for the mother goddess. All right, for the goddess. Okay, you have the peacock in many different forms. That's a goddess's worship. Okay, the dove. All right, so different fowls like that that's normally ascribed to the different goddesses that's worshipped in this society. And it's all part of that light. Again, this is how they communicate these things without saying it directly, and it's hidden in plain sight. Okay. Speaking of, let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. So the wisdom of this world that we just saw, you know, the Statue of Liberty saying that this is a woman of wisdom, follow this woman, this is the light. That's foolishness to the Most High. Okay, and it's going to be destroyed. Let's get Joel chapter 2 and verse 31. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. So why is that? Because before this place is destroyed, all of this is going to be known. That's what it means by the sun will be turned into darkness. That light, that knowledge of the left-hand path, the different sun gods, or the serpent's teachings. You can be your own God, like it says in Genesis chapter 3, knowing the knowledge of good and evil. That's going to be turned into darkness. There's going to be no more. And the moon into blood. All right. All these things are going to be revealed. Before it's over, it's going to be revealed. You get it? Like it says here in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and then verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So before it's all said and done, when the moon and the sun no longer gives its light, aka the doctrines of the world, the ideologies of the world are no longer in effect, you know, it's because that man of sin will be revealed. It's going to be known. Then if you wicked at that point, it's going to be a choice. You know, you're going to know the Statue of Liberty and what it represents. You're going to know that this place worships pagan gods. Also, the knowledge of the world. Speaking of pagan gods, all the different quote unquote holidays of this world. Everyone's gonna know that Christmas has nothing to do with the actual Christ of the Bible. You'll know Halloween is wicked without a shadow of a doubt. Groundhog's Day, what that means. Okay, whatever. Cinco de Mayo, Thanksgiving, whatever. You gonna understand exactly what these things actually represent. New Year's, you're gonna know that New Year's, quote unquote New Year's, is not a biblical New Year. You're gonna understand that for the god Janus, which we actually read about that earlier in the two Babylons over here. You're gonna know that January is for Janus. Okay, you're gonna understand these things. That man of sin is gonna be revealed. Okay, and there's gonna be no more excuses. So at that point, if you want to accept the left-hand side doctrine, then you just going to accept it. Okay, and that's how it's going to go down. So let's get Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 10. For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. Meaning it's going to be a wrap. Like you're going to know that this is all nonsense in the first place. So everything they push on us right now is going to be revealed. Look, that's just... Hey, look, this is who we've been down with. This is the real God of the world. And that Bible stuff is different than what we actually believe in. So you down with it or not? You know, we won't have a Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and Sexy Red. What's Isis? Which they made it so obvious naming this chick Isis. What's her name? Like the redhead chick, what's her name? Ice Spice, which is also a Luciferian doctrine, ice and fire. Her name Isis, after a pagan deity. You know, you're gonna understand the fact that these women pushing sex on our women, that was done for a reason. All these things are gonna be revealed. Okay, these stars of heaven, which they call celebrity stars, the constellations, the sun, LeBron James called himself a son, thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. It's going to happen in the end times. Okay. Let's get Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, shall the sun be darkened. So it's going to happen after the tribulation of those days, because then it's going to be revealed who the children of Israel are, what righteousness really is, what wickedness really is. That's why the sun is going to be darkened. It's not referring to literally the sun being darkened. Okay. Maybe so, you know, sun will be darkened in the sense before Yahweh returns upon his return. But also it's referring to in the spiritual aspect, is referring to the knowledge of the left-hand path no longer being prevalent in the world. Or at least it's going to be revealed what these things actually mean. All the different mysteries, all the different things we got to break down in movies and be like, oh, brother, you seen that? They was trying to do this. All that's going to be revealed. You won't need a breakdown anymore. They just going to come out and tell you that they worship Satan. And they trying to get you to get down with the same thing. You don't need no more breakdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like a new movie come out and, you know, brothers like, man, let's break this down. You won't need it anymore. All right. And the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. This kingdom is going to be shaken. And also what this means too, by the way, is referring to the internet. You know, these types of things, because that's where a lot of knowledge comes from now, right? From the internet. Is the internet going to go off? We're not going to be able to Google nothing at this time. You know, and that's going to cause a huge shakeup too. Once the internet goes down for everybody, it's the whole world going to flip. Okay, we lose cell phone reception. You can't call and text no more. Things going to be crazy. People going to be going nuts. You know, if it's not just a quick outage, if it's just actually out for days upon days, I mean, that's going to shake the whole world up. All this is going to go down the tribulation, man. You know, before Yahushua returns, all this stuff is going to go to naught, you know. Verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven, aka the chariots, with power and great glory. Okay, so that's how it's going to go down. Get it? So let's get 2nd Esdras chapter 16 and verse 70. I've gotten this numerous times depending on the lesson, but let's get it again. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. So the men of Israel, especially those that fear the Lord, it's going to be a great insurrection. It's going to be a manhunt for the actual Israelites, because these things are going to start being revealed. You understand? People are going to know that the people that call themselves Jewish today aren't the actual Jews of the Bible. Okay. And that's going to create our people as a target. We're going to have a huge target on our back. Get it? Verse 71. They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. So going to be going through and trying to search us out. And that's going to be that great tribulation, or Jacob's trouble. Get it? It says verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So, you know, it's going to be a reward. If you find one of these niggas and bring them here and get rewarded. And maybe we won't kill you, or maybe we won't do this to you. We're going to be getting sold out by our own family and friends, especially people that don't care about you. You're going to be getting sold out in these times. All right, verse 73. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So if it was already known who is the chosen, if the so-called Jewish are the chosen, then why is this scripture, which is clearly referring to a future prophecy, why is it saying, then it shall be known who are my chosen? The chosen is already known. And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So this is going to be a trying time for those men. Okay. Then it shall be known who are my chosen. So that's why at that point, after the tribulation, you're going to see, okay, this was all nonsense. The Jewish, they're not actually the Israelites of the Bible. The Bible was really, this whole time, this is where the truth really was. But I ain't comfortable with the truth. I want to live a lie. At that point, you're going to make a choice to live a lie, because it's going to be revealed, okay, what wickedness really was this whole time. All right. So let's get Isaiah chapter 29, verse 14. Therefore, behold, I will proceed to do a marvelous work amongst this people, even a marvelous work and a wonder, for the wisdom of their wise men shall perish, and the understanding of their prudent men shall be hid. That's how it's going to go down. Okay. Hosea chapter 2 and verse 16. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shall call me no more by Ali. So it's going to be revealed how you actually worship the Most High. Now, these words, Ishi, let's go to the word Ishi here in the Hebrew. It's H376, or Ish in the modern, man, great man, mankind. But here used in this context is more like husband. Okay. So we call the Most High our bride, as we see many times Israel being likened into the bride in Yahushua, the bride, the bridegroom. Okay. So in Baali, or my Lord, or Lord, a deity in the northern kingdom, variation of the name Baal. So it's saying that because in this time, we don't worship the Most High by the actual word. You know, it's Christianity and all these other different doctrines that we have a zeal of the Most High, okay, but no knowledge of the truth, okay? So that is pretty much it on this lesson. I wanted to break down and show the light that was being referenced in many verses because it's prevalent in the scriptures. We see this prophecy in so many different scriptures. Obviously, it means something. To me, the way that I normally view it is if I see scriptures that, you know, that say the same thing numerous times, to me, that means that it is a prevalent theme. It is something that is important, something that is vital to how things are going to shake up. And I'm not saying if there's only 2 times or something said in the scriptures is less important, or that doesn't mean that, you know, it's going to be less important or even more important or whatever the case. But I just tend to think of it like this. And there's many scriptures that say that the sun shall no more give its light by day. All right. So we see that there's going to be a big part of the end times of the knowledge of the world finally being destroyed. Right? And I just wanted to show some examples of that. We could have got a lot more, but it's just what I had pulled up. So that's pretty much it for now. Lord willing, this was edifying. Until the next time, I bid everyone a mighty shalom.